Cohen defines polygamy and polyamorous relationships as this. Polygamy is when you have one partner, but polygamous is when you have more than one partner. It could be two partners, three, four, however many. And I can't think of any modern examples off the top of my head, but like any mainstream things right now. But I do know that my brother-in-law was in a polygamous relationship back then, and it did not work out. And then I also had a friend who was in a polygamous relationship, I mean, polyamorous. He was in a polyamorous relationship and it did not work out, my brother in law. And then my friend was also in a polyamorous relationship and it did not work out. But it is. It is what works for everyone at the end of the day. It's what works best for them. So there's no judgment here. It is what works best. So there are Cohen defines three types of colonial families. There were the Indian American families who followed matrilineal, which is where the mother, a lot of the bloodline, a lot of that came from the mother's side. Extended family members came from the mother's side, and they were also in charge of taking care of the children. And then there is white European families where the husband was the breadwinner and the wife was expected to be an obedient housewife. And then there are African American families. They did face the hardest challenges due to slavery, but they build kinships to they build kinships to build connections and to help each other get through this. Today, there are different types of families. Families now are defined in so many different ways. You've got single parent families, you've got same sex parents, you have adoptive families, people who we consider as families whom we have close connections with, or even pets. Like I say, I have a son, but I'm really referring to my cat, Gandalf. He's my baby. Um, so yes, for companionate marriage, for that, I don't, for that, I am all for the emotional connection and the shared interest and goals, but I don't believe that we should be striving for that, um, just companionate marriage, because like Cohen mentioned, that it leaves women feeling more like they don't have much control. It doesn't give them much opportunities outside of the house. The one who's the breadwinner, they're burdened with that task of financial burden. Um, and so it does work for some families. Like it's mainly worked for middle class families. But for lower middle class, where both parents work, that's not the case. But there are upsides and downsides. The upsides of having a companionate marriage is more emotional connection and more shared interests. Now the downsides are feeling like you have no control. Um, Also having that financial burden and having high expectations, which then leads to high divorce rates. I do believe that a balance is key. Um, Now, today in marriage, a lot of people are choosing to delay marriage or not get married due to prioritizing their career goals, personal growth, as well as financial stability. Women today have a lot more. They have a lot more freedom. Women don't need to get married just to be taken care of like back then. Women have more opportunity to to have more financial growth, control family planning, um, just be themselves, choose what they want to do, choose what is best for them. Um, so for me, choosing a last name, honestly, a lot of people, it's a lot harder than a lot of people think it is, because you have to take into consideration the hassle that there is. So that's the effort, the paperwork, um, the pay, because sometimes I've never, they do charge you for that. Um, does Will this marriage, do you feel like, do I feel like this marriage is going to last long enough? in order for me to go through all that hassle and change my last name. And I know this sounds a little vain, but also I take into consideration, do I like the way his last name sounds with my first name? Does it sound good? I know it sounds vain, but it's really all about me. It's what makes me feel comfortable. And this isn't really about tradition now. So, um, that's just my idea in it. I don't have any sort of way towards changing the last name or anything. I feel mutual about it, but it's not just about me, it's about him. Does he also want to change his last name to mine, or why not? That's pretty much it. So, thank you all so much for watching.